for listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
A good song, though.
It is. I love this song.
It is like, it might not be better than some other podcasts, but I think it's pretty good. It's serviced us well.
It's amazing. This has been like the song basically from the beginning.
Yeah.
There was one other one previously before that, and that was just like a free, non-copyrighted song that I just got for
because
like 50
you and
cents.
I are not musicians.
Yeah,
I can't speak for you, but I do not have a musical bone in
I
my
have a guitar
body.
sitting over there.
Can you play the guitar?
Nope, I cannot play the guitar.
Is it just to pick up chicks?
No, I have always and still do intend to learn someday. It's just finding time in my life to sit down and commit to learning.
You just want to go
guitar.
sit on the lawn in the quad and be like,
It's an
all right.
electric guitar. It's
So
not
here's
acoustic,
Wonderwall.
so-
Oh, it's an electric. I thought it was acoustic guitar. Oh,
It's an electric guitar.
bullshit. So yeah, I know a lot of people who are very, very musical, and we will get into that later too. But shout out to Zach Scrabba, friend of the show, who created that awesome intro for us. But we're back at him. Feels like we just did this.
I know, right? It's kind of weird.
Well, welcome to another Saturday night podcast. Wait a minute. We're coming to you live on YouTube. It's not Saturday night, Adam.
No, it's Monday. Like,
Monday evening. The sun is still out. We are not after dark.
Barely the evening is what it is.
This is. And listen, typically.
Now,
go ahead.
obviously it's not Saturday night because I did say in the last episode my shift has changed, so we're not going to do it Saturday nights anymore unless I have a day off. But we were going to be like doing it on Sundays or something like that. But we did just do it like 2 nights ago.
I needed to do this, and it's my fault. And I need to be honest with our fans, our listeners, our viewers, everyone. Last show was just not it. It was not the show. I was low energy, and I blame myself. As I said, I was drinking since noon. I went to a Tiki Flea in the Tiki Bar out in Akron, and I was just... Do you ever get to the point, Adam, where you're drinking all day? And typically, you pass out, you black out, and when you wake up the next day, you are hungover.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Have you ever been to the point where you're drinking all day and you just skip the passing out, sleeping part? And you just go right into the hangover?
Yeah, I've done that.
That's what I did last time. So
that's why you got to not be a wussy about it.
I drank heavily, very, very strong drinks. And I quit drinking at a certain point because I knew I needed to drive home, which was like over an hour drive, so I needed to sober up. But it worked against my favor. I needed to come do the podcast, and I was not feeling it.
You walked in the door Saturday night. You're like, dude, I've been drinking since 12. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Blah, 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 all that, this, and the other thing.
And you hit record.
And I was doing some final touches to just getting things ready. And then, like, in the middle of doing my final touches, like, are you ready to go? I could tell you were kind of, like, dead almost.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, we could skip it. And you're like, no, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's go.
I wanted to soldier on, but since that was my fault, we missed 3 weeks in a row. I didn't want to miss a 4th week. We're not the kind of podcast that takes like a year off. I don't know who does that, but
Shots fired.
We try to stay regular as possible,
Yeah. Regular flow.
That's you. You're Mr. Regularity.
Yeah.
Your watch goes off, you got to poop.
Time to shit.
And with your new work schedule, I don't know. For those of you who didn't catch our last show, Adam got a promotion.
I got a promotion at my job.
Very good. Very good.
It has forced me to change my schedule. I no longer work Monday through Fridays. I work 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts, so I got 3 days off, which is nice. But it's forced me into the midnight position, unfortunately. But I think it'll work really well for me working in that shift.
That's right. Big timer. So,
I think the shift is actually going to kind of work because I've always been a little bit of a night owl. I just don't like working at night. I like having fun at night. But like today,
you like after dark.
yeah, Yeah, I love After Dark.
Yeah.
But like today, for example, like I stayed up all night last night. I didn't go to bed till like, because I got to adjust to the new shift, so I didn't go to bed till like 6 in the morning. So I was drinking all night, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up around like 12:30, and you had a text. You're like, "Hey, can you give me a call for a second?" I'm like, "This is it. This is the moment where you said we can't do the podcast anymore. This is the talk."
Au contraire, mon ami.
But I woke up and I was like, and I called you. We chit chatted. We're like, "Oh, let's do the podcast." I'm like, "All right, cool, let's do it." And then I like went about my day. I had time to work out. I had time to do cardio. I had time to shower. I had time to go to the grocery store. And by the time everything was done, like had I had to work tonight, it wasn't even at the time for me to start to work. So like before, when I was working like 1 to 10s, because I sleep in a little bit, like it's a I have a hard. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a fuck. I don't trust.
No, we're after dark here.
I don't trust anybody who can jump out of bed at 8 in the morning and ready to go. You are a pod person. You are an alien. Get out of my country. But like
Go back to Mexico.
But like I try to wake up because I'm like I want to lift and work out before work, and then like I ended up rushing, and sometimes I'd rush through a workout, and then I don't have time to shower, so then I got to sit for the first like 5 hours working like in my sweaty gym clothes, and then take a shower. None of that. That's not gonna happen anymore because I have time now. I have perfect amount of time. So,
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Adam, let's talk about this because I think we talked about. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what happened.
We didn't talk about. I don't think we talked about the drink.
What do you drink? That's a thing too.
Who was your father? And what does he do?
So we've got some mixed drinks here, and we had this last show, but I made them again. I went to the Tiki bar, and the Jungle Bird is what we're drinking, and it consists of. Hold on here, I got the bottles. We finished them all. That is Appleton Estate Jamaican rum, and it's shaken with. Got some Aperol. That's some kind of bitter spirit. I don't know. Getting a little fancy here. And then we got pineapple juice, simple syrup, and lime juice.
It is tart.
It's tart.
It's very sweet. It's very good.
It's good.
It's very delicious.
So that's what we're drinking. We're boring. There's other podcasts out there that are very diverse with their drinking. A lot of times you and I will just stick to, we're really into rums right now.
Yeah, why not? It's the perfect beverage.
We love rum. I still like whiskey, but whiskeys have been gotten too mainstream.
You fucking whiskey.
The bourbon hunters and the bourbon collectors, they're just a bunch of assholes.
Fucking whiskey snob.
Yeah. I like whiskey, but I've been really into rum lately, especially like 1950s, 1960s tiki cocktails. Oh, good
I'm worried
stuff.
about you, man, because you were a beer snob for a long time.
I was a beer snob.
And you were like, I'm digging the craft beers.
I was.
You were a beer hipster almost. And like, you were digging, and then it kind of fell off. You're like, nah, I'm just going to drink Pabst and just drink all that.
I did do that.
And then you were doing that with whiskey, and now all of a sudden you're like, I was big into whiskey right now, but I'm kind of whiskeyed out. And I'm like, don't fucking do that to rum. Rum's the king of
you know what? I haven't.
I'm worried that's going to happen. I'm worried you're going to show up
one day
like,
it's who I am.
You know what? I'm drinking sangria now. I'm on the sangria train.
Don't hate me for me. I mean, it's who you got into business with.
I'm a Chardonnay person now. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a Pinot Grigio guy.
Exactly.
But hey, you got into bed with this. You knew what you were getting into. I am a change. I am hope and change kind of guy right here.
Doesn't bode too well the past decade.
I get sick of things, and I change it up. My taste in music is all over the map. I just like to try different things, and the same goes through booze. I was a real big craft beer microbrew kind of guy.
Yeah.
We had a beer of the show on this podcast where we brought a different beer and drank it, and then I realized you didn't really like beer.
No, I just didn't like IPAs and shit like that. Like the super real bitter beers. No, like I wasn't digging that. I'm a lager guy. Call me boring, but I'm a lager.
That's kind of like the missionary of the beers. So it's very basic of you, but I mean,
tried and true. It's an old.
Okay.
Just give me an old fashioned.
So we're drinking the Jungle Bird. I'm excited. I got my shirt on. It looks like something Charlie Sheen would wear in 2.5 Men.
It does. You look like you're ready. I don't know if that's
That is a
compliment or not.
problematic show too. That man.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But you know what? Here's the thing about... I watched a lot of that show. The thing about it is...
You would, you sexist.
But like the thing about it is... He
Fuck
never
the patriarchy.
He never pretended to not be that, though, in the show. If anything, he was one of the most honest ones in that show. Yeah, occasionally, like, he would lie to women when he told him he loved them or stuff like that. But, like, everybody knew who he was. He didn't lie about it. He didn't lie about himself.
That was pretty much Charlie Sheen in real life.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, anyway, I'm dressed like him tonight. But the big thing I wanted to talk about, and I briefly talked about it last episode, but I just feel like I didn't do it justice. You and I used to be really, really into podcasts. I can't speak for you completely, but there was a time I was listening to like a dozen different podcasts.
I used to listen to a ton.
I listened to a ton, and just like I am with booze, what happens?
Fell off.
I get burnt out. So I kind of quit the podcast game. And some of them were good. So there was a podcast.
There's still like two that I listen to now. I realize the reason why I don't listen to as many as I used to is because like it was easy to do it in my old job because I was basically left alone for like 8 hours a day. So I just put my earbuds in and I had to listen to something. So that made it really easy to listen to a bunch then. Now I don't. So like I struggle getting through just a couple that I listen to.
What are the two you listen to now?
So the two that I listen to, one of them is the Chilluminati podcast.
What is it?
The Chilluminati podcast, which is just like like three guys from like YouTube. They talk about like true crime, conspiracies, supernatural, sci-fi. Like they dive into like I think the one I'm listening to right now, they're doing Jack the Ripper. And so they're diving into that. And the other one is called The Ralph Report.
Ralph Garman.
Yeah. That's a more of like a radio show almost because that's his origins is in radio. So it's basically like he puts out a show like 5 days a week.
I've listened to him with Kevin Smith in the past.
On Holly Babylon, yeah.
Hollywood
They still do
Babylon,
that sometimes. They do that like once a month.
Okay.
Kevin Smith is living out here, fucking around with this movie theater in New Jersey.
In New Jersey now, yeah.
Yeah, so... but they still do it like once a month. But yeah, I listen to that. But that's I get behind on that one because he puts out like one like Monday through Friday every day. He puts out one. So
yeah, I mean those two podcasts you mentioned, they're kind of big. They're like popular. They're like celebrities. They're famous people who do them.
The one's not really. They're not really they're like YouTube well known, but not like. But they're not even like YouTube famous like like Logan Paul or anything. They're not like that.
They're not one of the huge ones. I actually just recently looked it up. I was curious because the charts change all the time. I was like, what are the top 5 most popular? First, there was a list from most popular podcasts. Yeah. Then there was a list from most listened to podcasts. So I was like confused how those aren't the same. But you want to hear this list? Because I was kind of surprised at the top 5.
I heard
me
Joe
and my
Rogan
list.
got knocked down. He used to be like number 1. I heard he's no longer.
So this is as of today, as the crow flies, March 19th. Is that today? Yes. So this changes like weekly.
What?
May. What did I
You
say,
said March.
May.
You said
May
March 19th. As of today, I'm like, do I fucking time travel? Is there a portal somewhere in here?
We're getting into time travel later too. May, excuse me, apologies. When people listen to this later, months later, they don't know. May 19th, this is what it is. The number 1 podcast in America, this is also in America, is the New Heights podcast with Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce.
Fuck that bullshit.
I've listened to it. I kind of like it, but I don't listen to it regularly because it's too fucking mainstream. They talk a lot about football, which is a popular thing in America.
Foosball.
And Travis Kelce, of course, he dates Taylor Swift, who's like the most popular. Contrary to what Donald Trump says, she's still hot. And she's still... Bruce Springsteen's still the boss, and Taylor Swift is still hot. So
you don't hear as much about Taylor Swift these days after the election, post-election.
Number 1 is the New Heights podcast. Number 2 is a podcast called Call Her Daddy. Have you ever heard about that?
No.
So I looked it up, and I went away from the page. So bear with me. Call Her Daddy podcast. It's known for celebrity interviews and frank discussions about relationships and sex, hosted by Alex Cooper.
Boring.
So it's like a girl. I mean, it's really popular, so I'm sure it's fine. I've never listened to it though.
I don't care. I don't care about celebrity interviews at all. Those are my least favorite.
Yeah, me too.
Like
me too.
When I was a kid, watching like late night Tonight Show, all those
Saturday Night Live.
No, I mean like the Tonight Show, late night with whoever was hosting it, like those shows, like even like Stephen Colbert right now, like those kind of shows. Sure. Like my least favorite segment was the celebrity interviews. I could not give a shit. Could not care.
I am so over that kind of a podcast too. What I want in my podcast is 2 or 3 friends drinking around a microphone, telling inside jokes. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's what I want. And that's not what I'm getting from this list. Number 3, the Midas Touch podcast.
I've heard of them.
It's like a progressive news, like politically
like
based.
Aaron Parnas is part of that, I think.
Yes,
and
yes.
Like,
So you know that one.
I follow a few of them on TikTok.
Us being 2 progressive guys, it's kind of impressive that that's number 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess in the world we live in, people need that.
It's impressive that they've outshone Joe Rogan, quite frankly.
Speaking of that, number 4 is the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, they got above him.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of wild. And number 5, the most popular, most listened to podcast in America, is For Your Distraction. We made it. We cracked it. The top 5.
And it's all thanks to you.
It's all thanks to you.
Give yourself a round of applause.
We're coming for Joe Rogan next. Fuck the celebrity interviews. Let's just be 2 bros drinking some fruity drinks around a microphone.
Phrasing, sir. That's all I'm going to say to that. Phrasing.
But I mentioned this last show, but I don't like the way I mentioned it. There's one podcast I'm listening to right now. And it is a podcast I mentioned. What episode number are we on right now?
We are on 329.
329. That's funny because back in episode 129, I mentioned this show for the first time. This show was introduced to me by friend of the show, Mike Deloney. It's the Beepers After Dark podcast.
I've heard of them.
Because so I listened to this show back then, and it's like, it's hard to explain. So one of their friends, I don't know any of these people, but one of the guys, and here's a funny story behind that too. But I don't know anybody on the show but one guy. And one of their friends does a podcast. So Beepers After Dark was created as a fan cast, like a companion podcast to that one. I've listened to the original one, and I just couldn't get into it. But Beepers After Dark was really funny. Back then, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that Mike D introduced me to it. But then, like booze, I got off of podcasts. So I stopped listening to it. And I haven't listened to it in a long, long time. Just the other day, I'm scrolling through my phone. I had to delete some things to make room. And I go to my old podcast app on the Apple iPhone. And I'm looking at some of these old podcasts. And I come across Beepers After Dark. I'm like, oh, this is that podcast that Tuttle was in. I'm like, I used to like listening to this. I looked at, unfortunately, and I don't know why they did this, they haven't put a new episode out in a year.
They're not committed.
It was like May 2024.
They're
and
not
we're in May 2024. So I'm like, oh, they haven't done a show. But you know what? I'm going to listen to some of the backlog because I stopped cold turkey listening to it. And I'm really getting into it. Guess what they do? There's 3 members. There's Tut is the guy I know. There's Fat Michael, and there's Chris Cat. And they sit around a microphone and they drink and they're just friends and they just bullshit and talk. That's what I want in my show. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't know these people. Their inside jokes go right over my head, and it's still funny. It's still fun to hear. And if you can't laugh at this, something's wrong with you. It's just great to hear that camaraderie.
Yeah.
And everybody on this show, they're like really musically inclined. Everybody has like their doctorate or their PhD in some form of music. So on top of that, they're talented people. And talented people make me fucking sick. I've always said that because I don't have an inch. I can't even play the kazoo right. You've got a guitar over there gathering dust. That was supposed to be your pussy magnet, but no, it's over there in a case.
I was a lazy kid.
Yeah, it is. But like, I appreciate music, and I appreciate people who can create art. That's not me, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Their show's really funny, and so I was listening to some of the backlogs, Adam, I was all the way back. I lost it again. I was back. It was 2018. Here it is. October 10th of 2018. I'm listening to this show, episode 34 of Beepers After Dark. And who do I hear? I hear them name drop us.
Us.
At For Your Distraction. Typically me, because I met the guys at a wedding. You'll hear the story, because we're going to play a clip from their show. And I was flabbergasted. I owe them an apology. First of all, I did name drop their show back in episode 129 of For Your Distraction.
Okay.
And I did name drop it last episode. But I feel they did a lot more for us on their show.
You just kind of mentioned it and...
I just kind of mentioned it in passing. I'm like, hey, this is a good show. Like, listen to it. But,
check it out.
But now I feel like I owe them an apology, and I should, like, get out there with the show.
So as of this, we're going to listen to the clip. As of this clip, how long ago, roughly, did this come out, this episode?
6 years and 6 months, give or take.
So 2018.
2018.
Pre-COVID. This is pre-COVID.
They have COVID episodes like we have COVID episodes. This predates those.
They didn't know how good they had it.
They didn't.
They didn't.
But it's been fun. You mentioned time travel. When I listen to their old shows, it feels like I'm traveling back in time to a simpler time.
Did you have an idea where you want to do like a companion podcast to our podcast kind of thing?
That was pretty meta. Maybe we should do that, but...
I've seemed to recall you like, hey, let me run this idea by you.
Another great show is Mangy Radio. Our friend of the show, Ryan Dunch, he got on the ground floor. He was cutting edge of doing podcasts, and Mangy Radio was his show. We've talked about it on here. They haven't done that show. Oh my God, it's been 5 or 6 years since they've recorded anything. And I said we were going to do a companion show to that. And then I said, we can do a companion show to ourselves. Go back to 2016 when we had episode number 1 and re-listen. And
it's going to be a lot of these bastards that don't know how good they had it. It's going to be a lot of that.
I've listened to some of our old shows, and I'm like, wow, we weren't any good. We've gotten much better. Some
people would say we're still not very good.
Yes, but that's what I want in a podcast, okay? I don't want this highly produced, top of the line.
You don't want what I'm trying to do to us. Is
I don't want celebrity interviews.
You're basically like, I don't want what you're doing to us.
Do you want to listen to the clip?
Yeah, let's listen.
Let's listen to the clip. This is Beepers After Dark, episode 34. It was recorded on, or I shouldn't say, it was posted October 10th, 2018. It is called Pour One Out for Squee. We're only going to play like a 2-minute clip where they mention us.
All right.
This other podcast.
I wonder why that.
And we're like, do we want to get into a podcasting network? It's called For Your Distraction. And I said, I met a dude at a wedding.
Yeah.
We got through all that. I didn't even say his name. I forgot what he said to me, but he is, within my extended family connections.
Yeah.
And his name is Scott Malanke.
Scott.
And they're 2 episodes ago, the one that came out right after we posted our last 2 episodes, he started talking. He's like, yeah, I went to this wedding in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I was like, oh, that's where I was. He's like, I got one story from that. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be about me. And he starts getting into this story. And he's like, I was at this bar, blah, blah, blah. I was like, my God, I was at the bar. That's where I met him. He gets further and further and further into the story. And he's like, yeah, and we're there. And there's people playing pool. And we were having these drinks. But I'm like, oh, my God, that's like when I was talking to him. And then he tells a story about a dude who was in the bathroom too long. And it was kind of funny. I'm not going to tell it. You go listen to his shit.
Okay.
Point of it, not about me. And he's given us 0 shout-outs. 0 shout-outs.
Wow.
Now I've given 3.
Wow.
What? So,
your move, Scott.
You motherfuckers in Gettysburg, PA, you better call this guy in.
Pretty far.
And you tell him we're not going to pimp his shit anymore. I will tell you, so For Your Distraction, if you...
Maybe you should now, hold on. Commentary, I need to give some notes here. Chris Cat, that was not good enough. That's not menacing enough.
You want to give her one more chance?
That's not what we need.
Okay, let's give her one more chance.
From the female
3,
member of
2,
our crew.
1.
I think you need to watch that Pornhub clip of Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi B's a better porn actor than you are podcast.
It's my favorite when you do it.
Okay. So if you ever want to, if you want to know what West Pennsylvanians sound like when they just sit around and bullshit, listen to For Your Distraction.
Okay.
And it is funny because
Are they sponsored?
they're part of some sort of
In
podcast.
West
No, they don't.
Pennsylvania.
They don't.
I don't.
They have a cool intro song. Not cooler than ours.
Yeah.
We're hardcore. We're
This
after
is
dark. I think they do
We're
those during
hardcore.
daylight.
Oh.
Idiots.
Okay.
I'll have you know, sir,
We are doing it in the daylight
it
today.
is frequently like almost midnight when we do our show.
We are after dark typically till somebody here had to go and be all corporate. Now we are doing a daylight show, but most of the time it's after dark. There's a lot to unpack in
There
that clip.
is. First of all, we're not going to give you any more shout outs to you motherfuckers. Joke's on you, buddy. Who's still going? Who's at 329?
Well, listen, I really enjoy their show. I really enjoy the people. I hope they haven't put a new episode out in a year, and they do kind of stray away from their original content, which was a companion piece, because the other show hasn't put anything out either.
Yeah.
They could just scrap that whole thing, because the shows that they did that were about the Beeps cast weren't my favorite ones. The shows that they had no Beeps cast to talk about were some of the best ones. So I don't know why they haven't done a show in a long time. I hope everyone is okay. But I hope that this, because I'm going to send this to them. I actually have to search some of their episodes to find their email or whatever, how I can send it to them. I know they have a Twitter, but we no longer have a Twitter. We were kicked off of Twitter because I called Elon Musk a cunt. I'm going to be proud of that till the day I die.
The platform of free speech, man.
So For Distraction no longer has a Twitter, but we can send this episode to them, and hopefully they listen to it, and they're like, "Oh man, the fans want more. The fans crave more." You know, there's been shows that have gone on longer hiatuses than a year. They can come back from this.
Yeah, they can. Absolutely.
But so the guy doing who's mentioning about me being at a wedding with him, his name's Nick Tuttle. They call him Tut on the show. He's a good guy. Good guy. I know him. We were actually at Jack Deloney's wedding back in 2018.
I didn't get the invite.
Maybe it's in the mail still. It's just, the mail. That was 2018 was already Donald Trump's America, so the mail got messed up.
A little bit, yeah.
You might get it eventually, but I represented
when
us.
that day comes.
I represented us at this wedding, and it was a very fun wedding. Shout out to Jack Deloney, friend of the show. But I had already heard from Mike Deloney about.
That's two fucking friends of mine that didn't invite me to their weddings. I just realized that. I was thinking about that right now.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, continue.
Let's make it all about. Let's make it about you. Why don't we? Okay.
It's our show.
It's our show. I do what we want.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, Mike had already introduced me to Beavers After Dark, and I ran into Tut at the wedding, and I was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, blah blah, love your show," and told him about our show, and he does a great job pimping us, and I feel like I didn't do enough.
I mean, technically you did. I mean, you said 129, was it? You said that you talked.
I did, but I feel like after hearing what he said about us, we got almost a whole segment.
But it was mostly him shit talking us. Let's be honest. Like, most of him talking about our show was shit talking because we don't talk them up.
But it was endearing.
That's most of it, though.
It was an endearing shit talk.
Yeah.
Like, it was like that they say that there's no publicity is bad publicity, Adam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, they're talking about us. Oh, he called us idiots, but he's still talking about us. Like, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
Talking about it, aren't we?
We are. We're still talking about it right now. So, there's actually a funny story I want to say. Like, Jack and Mike and Dominic and Lexus Deloney, the Deloney clan, I grew up with them. Very, very good friends of their whole family. Their first cousin, she went to school with me. She was 2 years older than me, and she's now married to Tut.
Okay.
So that's how it aligns. Like, he's married to the Deloney's cousins, and and I know his wife pretty well. She hated my guts in high school.
I see now.
She hated.
I see now. You led him to shit talk us. Apparently,
I don't know. I mean, that was a long time ago. In her defense, I was a little bit of an asshole. So she rightfully, but
I'm sure she wasn't no saint.
Adam, when you look at me, do you think theater kid?
Oh God, no.
No, God, no.
Oh, God,
right?
no.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
I played football.
I don't know if you can spell theater.
That's fair. That's fair. But I was not a theater kid. but I loved being in the High School Musicals. I was like Troy Bolton out there, like
You were
the
in those
athlete.
Movies? You were in those movies?
No, not the actual High School Musical. Like,
I was gonna say, where were you?
lowercase High School
And
Musical.
where'd that money go?
And you know, he was like, you've never seen High School. Why am I asking you this? He was like the star basketball player who was too cool for school, and then he joined the musical to buck the system. You know, he didn't stick with the status quo. Whatever. I love Zac Efron. Don't at me. But so I did. I was in the musicals, and I remember being in Little Orphan Annie. I was just an ensemble part. I was a member of the chorus. And
by any
Tut's
chance?
wife, Pint-Sized Tut is what they call her. I'm not going to use her real name. I don't know if she wants to. Just give her another reason to hate me. But she was in the musical, and she was very talented. Actually, a lot of my friends like thought she was like super hot and like why does she hate you? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know her family. Maybe that's why. But no, I was just a complete fuck off. Like, that's why. I didn't take it seriously.
Fuck off.
And that was a long time ago. Please don't judge me for what I did when I was 17. I don't think people do that anymore. But yeah, so that's her, and she and her husband does this show, and I really enjoy it, and I want them to do another one.
She's on your Facebook, right? They're on your Facebook, right?
I think Tut is, yes. I don't think his wife is. I think she probably blocked me.
Why didn't you share the stream to Tut then?
I'm going to probably
You could have
send
done
it to him.
could have done it when you shared it on your Facebook. You could have tagged him in it.
Well, can I do that right now?
I think you can edit the post right now if you want to.
Well,
It's a little fucking late because we already talked about the whole thing and played the clip.
Well.
But
I'll just send him it. I don't know what he's doing right now. I'll just send him it after it's all said and done. He doesn't need to watch it live. I don't think he's a podcast watcher. Their podcast doesn't have a video format like we do. And the video format's relatively new for us too. For many, many years, we did the audio only.
I'll be honest with you. I keep a secondary hard drive with all of our past shows.
Yeah.
On there just so that I have them, and I moved from my computer there quite frequently. There's way more video content on it than I thought there was. There's a fuck ton.
Really?
Yeah.
This is,
ton of videos.
Ever since COVID, time is just relative. Like, I don't remember if something was like a year ago, or if it was 9 years ago. It's weird how time is. But
That's called getting old.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, there's a lot more to unpack with that clip. We don't live in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I've been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Is Gettysburg considered Western PA?
No.
So
it's like southern.
He knows we're in Western
His wife
PA.
is from here. She went to the same high school as me. He is aware. Now I will say this.
I'm return that PhD then, man. If you don't know where Gettysburg.
It's a music degree. Actually, I don't know what it is. I could be wrong there too. And then they're going to call us out, and we'll be mentioned again.
This is when you find out it was a geography degree. Ooh.
Yeah, maybe. But at any rate, they are in the Boston, Massachusetts area. That's where the show is coming from.
Oh, all right, whatever then.
But they have a lot of friends. The funny thing about it, they give all of their friends weird names. And I'm kind of jealous of that.
As opposed to your naming convention when you talk about people.
I do have, but they take it to a whole new level. I do have names for people.
You have a naming convention that only the inside people know.
I do.
Can understand what the naming convention is.
I do.
And it's the laziest, laziest naming.
My naming, I also have some names that people don't know that's their names. Like girls, like the one girl we call her Man Hands. The other girl we call her Tissue Box. And I'll explain on the Patreon why. But no, their names are great. Like I just really like it. And I wish I did more of it. Like I've been trying to call myself Money Malank on the show.
Yeah,
it's not sticking. It's not sticking. You're just Adam.
You get your TikTok. You get your TikTok handle too. Scotty knows.
Oh, Scotty knows.
Scotty knows. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty knows. A little play on the Euro trip. Scotty doesn't know. Yeah, I do know. But yeah, damn it, I'm really into this podcast, and I want this. We've spent a lot of time. I think we've made up for the mistakes of 6 years and 6 months ago. trying to get them to come back out of retirement or whatever they got going
I
on.
decided I'm changing my TikTok handle, by the way, again.
Again, you got to be consistent, bro.
I'm changing it to Grizzled Hotcakes.
Grizzled Hotcakes.
I think that's a better name.
You've changed. This is the third change. You got to stick with it.
Nah.
Grizzled Hotcakes.
I like that.
Can I just call you Grizzly Adam? I want a nickname for you.
Funny enough, back when I worked at the rink, a lot of people called me Grizzly Adams because after high school, I stopped shaving.
You grew that beard,
and I
yeah.
grew like a really big bushy Amish beard, real ugly thing, and I left it unkempt. And so like that's just what people started calling me. But like I'm grizzly, but I trim it up, so I'm a hotcake now. So I'm a grizzled hotcake.
Whatever you say, Grizzly. So if you guys want to check out the podcast, Beepers After Dark,
Yeah, check them out.
yeah, check them out there on. I listen to them on Podbean and iTunes.
If they're uploaded on Podbean, you could probably find out on any of your
I don't know.
third-party
Just check
apps,
them out.
So
We're gonna do our best to get them out, get them back. So.
yeah, maybe send a message, do a collab, as the kids like to say.
Yeah,
A little collabby lab.
let's do it. We're still going strong. I don't know what was going on with that.
It's because we don't have any lives. Maybe that's why. We got nothing else better to do with our time.
What is it with like musical people too? And you know what they do on their podcast? They play a lot of music.
Yeah.
They play songs to each other. And anytime we play a song on here, we get flagged instantly and it gets taken down.
Because they don't upload to YouTube and they don't upload to Facebook. And that's the shit that flags you.
Well,
If we just did Podbean, it'd be fine.
I wonder if they like pay ASCAP fees because they're music people.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I doubt it. Given the stretch between when they do episodes and how long ago they did their last episode, I'm going to say I doubt
mean,
it.
maybe they use it for other things if they're musical people. I don't have the slightest idea.
If they're
That's a
music people, why
question.
don't they just make their own fucking music then?
I think they do.
So then why do they got to pay anybody for anything? It's original content.
But they also play other music made by other artists. They're like, oh, I like this song. If you'd listen to the podcast, you'd understand this.
What's the point of the degree if you're not just going to make your own music for your own shit?
Oh, my God.
Damn.
Listen to you.
But it's their passion. You know, you think they'd want to do it.
My nephew, I was just telling you how I went to Indiana because my nephew was graduating. He was actually graduating with his master's in, are you ready for this? Music. He went to the Jacobs School of Music, University of Indiana. I guess that's a really good music school. Like, I think it's like second, only like Juilliard. I don't know. I could be wrong there. We have music people listening.
Juilliard's still a thing?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. It sounds like an old-timey, like 1800s English kind of thing.
Yeah, like Oxford is
Yeah.
that, and it's still a thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
They
Whatever
didn't
you
just
say.
stop existing.
I don't know. Shit stops existing all the time.
How old is Westminster? You went there. I'm pretty sure you have a shirt that says 18-something.
Probably.
It still exists.
Yeah, but if I didn't go there, I'd be like, Westminster, you mean the fucking place in England? Is that what you're talking about?
Nope.
Yeah.
The other one.
That would be my first thought. If
The
I
other
didn't
one in
go there.
Western PA. But yeah, my nephew goes for music, and all of his friends are music people. And it's like, I've been inundated with talented music people for the past month, and it is what it is.
Teachers, music people, those,
Yeah.
those basically
Right.
your sandwich in the middle of that.
And you know what? They have another person on their podcast. You heard when we played the clip, the female's voice.
Yeah.
Her name's Chris Cat.
Crisscross.
Kratz Creatures. Chris is gonna make you jump. Yeah, I've been drinking now. But I feel maybe we need a female perspective on the. Maybe we need a third.
Besides your
co-host.
wife, do you know anyone?
Oh no, I don't.
There you go.
I don't.
There you go.
No, I'm way beyond that. I don't know anybody who would be like good. And she has a really good radio voice, but so do you.
I know I do.
You do.
I really have a pretty good. It's why I hear myself talk sometimes. Like I can hear myself when I do my job and talk sometimes. And yeah, I got the voice for radio.
We've had people go into For Distractions DMs, and they're like, "Is Adam still single? Is Grizzly still single?" Because he's got that sexy bedroom voice, and I sound like a cartoon character, but you have
It's loud though.
you have that sultry deep. I'm just like
It's gotten a lot better since I got rid of the fucking cough. It's gotten significantly better.
Yeah.
So I don't have that shit anymore. Luckily, I'm still paying off that fucking bill. But yeah,
You know, I always said that we have the face for radio.
speak for yourself, son.
And now
I've been
you
working
put
out.
us on video podcasting.
I've been
so-
working out. Speak for yourself, son. I keep myself well groomed.
Grizzly.
Oh yeah, grizzled hotcakes.
Here to toss your salad.
So what else is going on, Adam? I really wanted to talk about that podcast. I feel like I've done.
No, you've done it. You know what? If they still have shit to talk, that's on them at this point. You did your job. You did your job. So, not really much. Like I said, it's been 2 days since we've recorded.
It really has. It
So
really
what
has.
content do I have other than, oh, you talking about sports, by the way? You know, you're like, I'm going to get you into sports. I'm going to get you into sports. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I found a way to get, I found something. This is the way to get me into sports.
Sports betting.
I have a video I want to show you
Okay.
of glow-in-the-dark baseball. Baseball, glow-in-the-dark.
Take a look.
This is how you get me into that. Yeah, that baseball glow-in-the-dark. Look at that
Do you know how hard that probably is?
shit. It's probably massively difficult, but how cool is that?
Look, I've played regular baseball, not baseball after dark. And
Look at this. Everyone's like all glowing and shit. It's so fun.
you know
It
what?
looks so
Maybe we
cool.
should just do everything after dark now.
Yeah.
Why do anything in the day?
And I realized watching that, it's the same thing as like Cosmic Bowling Night. It's all that is, basically, I guess.
Yeah. Let's
But
do-
Cosmic Bowling Night's fucking cool. Black light, shit's boom, boom, to the music bumping and shit like that. Lights,
Yeah.
strobe lights everywhere, giving people seizures. Fuck yeah.
When I
I'd much rather go to Cosmic Bowling than to bowling on a Tuesday.
When I think of bowling alley music, I think of Nickelback. I don't know why. Exactly that. Yes. See, we don't need musical people. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You sounded just like Nickelback. I thought you were Chad Kroger for a minute. Yeah, that
That's more
one.
like RFK a little
I
bit.
mean, yeah, yeah.
but like when you go bowling though, you take over the jukebox every time you go.
When I do anything, I try to take over the jukebox.
Just even if it's
Like if I go to the bar and they have one of those touch tunes,
not even necessarily because you want to listen to music, but partly because you just want to piss everybody else off.
I want no. I don't play like crap.
No,
It's like,
but like you definitely
what's
don't.
the John Mulaney skit where he plays "What's New Pussycat" all the time?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. What
it's
you're
pretty
talking
funny.
about. No, but like you'll go to like a dive bar where clearly they don't want to listen to gangster rap, and then you're like, I'm gonna put a bunch of gangster rap on
But you,
just to piss them off.
But you know me. You know that that's not how I DJ. You know you're gonna get hit in the face with like Dave Blunts,
There have been numerous stories where
and then you're gonna get followed up with Steely Dan.
I pissed off these guys so much just because I took over the jukebox and I kept playing gangster rap and hip hop, and they were
Oh.
hating it so much, and I loved it, and I just kept doing it over and over.
That did happen. I've told the story on the podcast before, but the place I used to take my car to get serviced, there was a bar right next door. I took my car there to have work done. It was going to be a couple hours, so I'm going to go over to this bar. I'm going to have a sandwich and I'm going to have a couple drinks while my car's done. And it's the middle of the day, so there's very few people in there. The bartender's some old, decrepit, smoking right there while she's mixing drinks, white lady. And these two young, guy and a girl, African-American kids walk in, and after a while they go over to the jukebox and they start playing some hip-hop, right?
Yeah.
And they only put in like a 5. They played a couple songs. And there was like, I think it was some 2 Chainz. I don't remember what it was. Gucci. I don't remember what was played at the time. It was a while ago. Finally, their songs ran out. And when the songs run out, then the house music kicks on. Nickelback, of course. And I'm mid-bite of my sandwich. And when their music ran out, the bartender she goes, "Oh, thank God that's over. If I had to hear one more of those songs, I was going to kill something."
Did she call it monkey music?
No, she didn't call.
Did she go that far?
Adam,
Did she go that far?
Grizz, what are you talking about?
Because
man?
racists like to go that fucking far.
No, she didn't say that.
Okay, I'm
She
trying
said
to gauge the level of the racism she's at.
she was definitely there, She didn't say a slur, but
Okay.
she said if I had to hear one more of those songs, I was gonna kill something. And I'm like, still got a mouthful of burger or whatever it was, and I'm like,
The inflection with when she said those.
Oh, yeah.
though.
I'm
the
like,
inflection.
oh bitch, it's on. So I stroll over there. She sees me. I got it. I dropped a 20. I did. I put in a Jackson in that piece. And I played nonstop of the hardest hitting, most horrible gangster rap you could imagine, and just let it ride. Just to piss her off.
That's when you put it in, and then you pick up your sandwich and be like, "Have a good day, ma'am," and then you walk out. That would
no tip.
That would have been the ultimate like clutch move right there, and just leave her with that.
But that's the exception to the rule. Normally, if I'm playing music, I do a good mix. And it's stuff I want to hear also. But it's stuff I want everybody who's in that bar or bowling alley or wherever we happen to be, I want them to hear it too. Because that's the kind of guy. I
Do you
am
remember
caring
the
man.
time? I think this was pre-podcast when we were just like hanging out. And we were just like, "Hey, let's go get some food somewhere," and then we go to like the sketchiest like restaurant in like downtown Sharon. Do you
yes.
remember that?
Dude, I was just talking about that the other day.
We were like, I think it was pre-podcast, and
was.
I called you up like, "Hey, I'm not doing anything." We doing like, "No, I'm not doing anything." It's like before you had kids, and life got busy. So like, hey, like let's go to this restaurant. Like, okay, let's go there. This seems pretty cool. And then like, I think we're just like Googling like a place to get like a burger. Or
No.
something like that. What
Okay,
was it?
so we were just driving. I was driving. You were with me. And we're going down some road. We're in the hood, basically. And there's this little dive bar. What we thought was this little dive bar. They had a sign that had the Pabst Blue Ribbon logo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm like, let's try this place. So we like pulled into the park. There was like no other cars there. That should have been the reddest flag for the bluest ribbon. but we rolled in, and nobody's there. There was like very few tables. There was tables that didn't have any chairs. There just happened to be 2 chairs up at the bar. So we're like, oh, let's
And it's practically patio furniture, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Like it was
Yeah.
like it's real shit tables.
like
and furniture.
lights. Like it was.
No lights were on. No,
We go and we sit at the table.
There was shelves behind the bar with no alcohol sitting on the shelves.
Yeah. We're just sitting there, but there's like a flat top grill like out in the open, like they could cook burgers or
If I
steaks
remember
on
correctly,
this. And
like we walked in there, nobody was in there, so we're like, I guess we'll just sit down and wait.
so we did. We sat at the bar and we waited. And after a fair amount, like we're just bullshitting, like whatever, we're having a good time. Then this lady walks out. This again, old decrepit white lady with smoking a cigarette, maybe the same lady from the first story. She walks out and she was like, she didn't say like, "Can I help you?" She was like, "Do you need something?"
Yeah.
And I wasn't even like, "Well, yeah, we'd like a drink." I was just like, at that point, the way she said it, I like looked at you and I'm looking around, I'm like, is this a bar? And she goes, "No."
Or is this a front for the Russian mob?
I go, "Is this a bar?" Like, it was supposed to be a bar.
Yeah.
And she responds with, "No." Like, we must have just walked into like somebody's. I don't know what it was.
It's like it felt like almost like she owned the property, but she wasn't running a business. She was just living out of the back.
Yeah.
Like that's what it felt like.
And we're like, okay, well, we'll just go.
Yeah. And then we sneaked out of there, and we're like, that was weird.
That was real weird.
Yeah.
That was real weird.
That was in like downtown Sharon, though, wasn't it?
No, it was in
Yeah.
Farrell. It wasn't in Gettysburg.
No.
It was in Farrell. It was on Martin Luther King Boulevard. And there's always a Martin Luther King Boulevard in a city that is majority minority.
Yeah.
There's always one, and that's where this place was. And I talked to people after the fact. I guess it used to be a bar, but it wasn't a bar anymore because she said no.
I'm still like confused as to what it was, though. Like, why was she there? What was the point of it? If it's not something, lock the doors. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I feel like there was a sign that had hours on the door. And we're like, oh, look, they're open.
Oh, do you know? You ever wonder? Side note, talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon. You ever wonder how they got the blue ribbon? Do you know that story?
They won a major award. Of
Yeah,
course.
they won at the World's Fair.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The whatever the Was it the World's Fair?
There's lots of World's Fairs.
I'm trying to think.
They've done multiple World's
It was
Fairs.
the one you know where like there was the rumors of the serial killer that would like had like the hotel murder hotel or
Was
whatever.
that in
it was.
Chicago?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was that one. They like won. They used to just be called Paps, and then they won the blue ribbon in like the 1800s, and then they just changed their names to Paps Blue Ribbon.
I
they've
mean,
been riding that high for
they
almost 200 fucking years.
really have.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
I mean, but it's not good beer.
I mean, it is.
It's
though.
not blue ribbon worthy these today.
It clearly is blue ribbon worthy, Adam.
Not
They have a
today.
blue ribbon. And
That's like a 45-year-old guy talking about how he was like the star quarterback for his JV.
peaked in high school.
Yeah, yeah. That's the energy we're talking about here.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that kind of energy.
No, get something new.
Maybe
Maybe make your beer taste better.
I'm gonna defend PBR to my dying breath.
It's gross.
It is not gross.
It's borderline water beer.
It is the best, cheapest beer. There's other cheap beers.
A turd is still a turd.
You couldn't be any more wrong. What's the first beer you got drunk off of?
Yeah, it's PBR.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
was fucking-
Who did that to you?
And yeah, it was you. And to this day, I'm like, could you not get me a quality beer for my first beer? Like something that
You know what? Just because you said that, I'm doubling down. I'm a PBR guy. I'm a PBR apologist. I will defend PBR.
that's fine.
I mean, I was
terrible
mowing the
beer.
grass today. When you're mowing the grass, you don't want a porter or a stout or even a lager. You want a nice, crisp, refreshing beer like a PBR. It hits when you're outside doing yard work.
I just have like a rum and coke.
You know what? We're starting a new segment. I didn't want to bring it up, but we're going to start a new segment hopefully next week. We didn't do it tonight because there was a little too much prep. I wasn't ready. I didn't take my prep. So
Aeration H.
I need I got some stuff to do, but we're going to play a drinking game.
Is this something you just came up with now because it's the first
No.
time you're hearing it?
I came up
Or
with it
you've been-
last week. I told you about it last week off air.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember.
Okay.
I was really drunk.
Good. You'll be surprised. You gave me the approval.
All right, I
You
believe
gave me
you.
the approval then.
I believe you.
So we're gonna start next week.
But again, me drunk, I'll approve of just about anything.
it's a drinking game.
Me drunk, I'm very much the guy that's like, fuck it, yeah, let's do it. Who gives a shit?
All right. Looking
So
forward to
you
it.
know what? I guess I'll stick by my word, my stupid drunken word. So we talked about it last episode. Typically we do Course of Cinema right now.
Right.
But because we're doing this is recording
2
ahead of
days after
time.
we recorded.
Yeah, we're recording this ahead of time. This is the episode that is gonna go up officially next weekend because holiday weekend, family plans, all that nonsense.
New work schedule.
Yeah, we're not gonna be recording this upcoming weekend. So Nothing to Lose is the Course Cinema, and we're gonna watch it.
I've never seen it.
It's very funny.
Okay.
I like it a lot. But we're gonna watch that again. I couldn't find it streaming. I couldn't even find it on fucking Tubi. Couldn't find it anywhere.
Tubi's been our go-to.
I went to Tubi. It's like maybe Tubi's gonna be the savior of the show. It wasn't fucking Tubi. So I'm just gonna rent on Prime. It's like $3 on Prime Video. I'm just gonna rent it on there. Who cares? But we're gonna watch Nothing to Lose. So we don't have a Course of Cinema to talk about tonight.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. So this gives the listeners, it gives you more time to watch the movie Nothing to Lose. So when we record next week, you could be one with the conversation.
Absolutely.
Also, I haven't got a chance to get the poster right here on the lovely green wall.
It's gonna be a little while because you gotta get the poster. I gotta frame it, and then we're gonna get it hung up. I'm not just sticking a poster to the wall. It's got ideally. You got to take care of it. It's going to last. So I'm not going to get like an expensive frame. I'll go to Walmart and get like a cheapo frame and just put it in there and hang it up. So
Whatever pedals your bike. But right next to the Haunted Fly Swatter, we are going to have a poster of the 2025 Adams March Madness tournament movie tournament champion. It's going to be Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back will be hung up on this wall.
hell yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there soon. What if we didn't do an episode for a whole year? that would be rough.
I think it'd be more just like boring for us at that point. Yeah. At that point, like I think anybody would miss out on anything, but I think for us it'd be really boring because I like doing the podcast. You know, like even if we don't get a ton of people that like nobody really watches the lives for the most part. Occasionally we get one or two lurkers that pop in there, but for the most part, the live stream we just kind of do it just.
So we were listening to the Beepers After Dark, and Tut was able to pull up the stats. Okay, is there a way you can do that?
Yeah, YouTube has fucking stats, shit like that we can look at.
So like you can see like these assholes from Boston, Massachusetts watch the show.
I don't know. I haven't
like,
delved too much into. I don't know if
because he was able to do that
far. I would imagine probably we can do that.
Just curious.
I know that like
for our tens and tens of listeners,
I know like we get post like live stream. We do get like watches on the videos, you know, after the fact. I'm just mainly talking about the live stream. Nobody really watches live. We just do it for fun, and I think it keeps people. I think it keeps us honest too. You know, we have to keep going, and there's no editing involved. We gotta put up or shut up. Uncircumcised, yes.
People, I think, may not catch the show live, but then they can go back and watch replays of it.
Yeah,
I feel like we get more people doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know people who still listen to the show the old-fashioned way, not watching the video cast. They'll put it on in their car and just put on Podbean or iTunes or Spotify or whatever they happen to use, and they'll just listen to the show the old-fashioned way, and that's fine too.
You can get your fucking TikTok numbers up, man. Maybe we can go live stream on TikTok.
You know what? Let's talk about that because I need some TikTok followers. I have 700. Did you see my latest video?
I did see that.
Yeah, I was being a whore.
You were. That's fine.
I was shirtless in the one scene.
You know what? That's how the best ones get it.
I was whoring myself. I said, listen, if you're not familiar with TikTok, if you want to create live TikTok videos, you have to have 1,000 followers. That's asinine, in my humble opinion.
I have 18 followers.
I have 703 or something like that.
That's a lot.
I only need 300 more people to follow me, and I get 1,000, and I can do lives.
Then we can do.
So I made a TikTok that was like, "Please follow me."
Did that get any buzz? Any reaction? Anything?
I lost one. But I'm hoping that it catches some fire. 125 people have viewed it. Maybe all those 125 already follow me.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm trying to get people to follow my TikTok. You can search for Scotty Knows, SCOTTYKNOWZ, or Malenky10, MALENKY10, because I had to pick some stupid, you know.
I'll tell you the issue. It's just consistency. You got to post like every day. You got to post some every day.
You know, I will say I was posting the wonderful clips you did of our Adams movie March Madness tournament.
Yeah.
And the first round was all posted and everything was great. And we took 3 weeks off, and I was thinking, oh, he's got 3 weeks off. He could probably get the second round done.
I was fucking busy, dude.
I'm just fucking with you. But I'm still waiting.
Here's the thing. That is on my list of things, too, because the first round was the hardest. That was the hardest.
It's
because
smooth
that was
sailing from here on out. Yeah.
That was the most amount. The rest of them should be easy. Easier is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But those, I'll be honest with you, so I usually create TikToks out of when we do the we were doing top fives for a while there.
Okay.
And I was creating ones from those, and those were like still a little work, but those are pretty easy to do. The March Madness ones, those were fucking time consuming. That's what it was, because there were just so many of them, and the way that I have to do it, I don't have the benefit of being able to pay AI to do it for me. And the problem is, like, I can't even use like CapCut to do it automatically for me, because our format of the podcast is, it's not like somebody's in the center and then I can just crop it. I'm actually doing
pan back and forth.
I'm not panning back and forth. I'm just editing. Like I'm cutting it in half, and then I'm just going back and forth between, like, when it's time consuming. It's like real editing. I guarantee there's an easy way to do it. I just haven't found it yet. So, yeah.
Well, I think they're good. I think they're good quality.
I try.
I just need more people to view them.
I try. I'm gonna. we're not gonna, like I said, we're not recording this weekend. I get my new schedule, and I think night's going to be a little deader than what I normally have to do. So I might have some time to
After
work on
dark, you
those.
mean?
Yeah,
After dark.
After dark is going to be a little deader. The sun's gone down, but you know what? The quality still shines right here.
Is the sun down now? Not
Not
quite.
yet. It's going down.
So we're almost after dark here.
We're almost.
So you're changing your TikTok name.
Maybe. I haven't done it yet. Maybe.
So how can people follow you?
It's still Hot Takes. HOTTAKES. You can search for Hot Takes. You'll see my ugly mug right there with my that's my in my new 3-piece suit with my sunglasses, geeking out on there. So maybe I'll change it. I'm just kind of brainstorming at the moment.
Okay.
So cuz here's the thing. Here's the problem with a name like Hot Takes. It means I have to fucking every video I have to come up with a hot take, and that's exhausting. If I just call myself Grizzled Hotcakes, I can just do whatever I want then. I can post whatever the fuck I want.
You were doing the hot takes for a while there. It was a pretty good segment, and then it kind of petered out.
Because it got exhausting because the hot takes were always like, hey, the world's ending. Yeah. That was pretty much always the hot take. That was like...
And it's not even that hot anymore. Like, everybody's like, we know.
Yeah, I know. It's not like... And I was doing the bit for a while where it's like, I know it shouldn't be a hot take, but apparently it must be because it's going on. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a hot take. They're trying to take porn away. I'm trying to take porn away. Don't fucking touch my porn. Don't touch my porn. You hit the button. That's the wrong button.
There it is.
That's the button. There you go. Here's your hot take.
That was smooth sailing.
Here's your hot take. Not even really. It's more like news. They're trying to take porn away. They're trying to. They're trying to put a bill forward that's supposed to monitor obscene shit on the internet. Is basically what it is. So like porn. You're never gonna take fucking. This is the hot take. You're never gonna take porn away in the United States on the planet Earth. It's never gonna happen. You dumbasses. Stupid.
So what's that one? Was it Mike Lee out of Nebraska, or it was one of the?
Yeah, it's one of those motherfuckers.
I forget who it was, but he had a list of them, and of course Pornhub was on there.
Yeah.
And one of the ones listed. Are you ready for this? Was YouTube Red?
Really?
Okay, YouTube Red is not a porn site.
No.
It's like YouTube's TV, right?
Something stupid like that.
It's like a service you got to pay for.
Yeah.
But there's a porn site called RedTube.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of it.
You dirty dog.
I've never gone there, but I have heard of it.
But the dude had YouTube Red listed instead of RedTube. And YouTube's like, we're being banned? Like, what the fuck did I do?
Fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say? Fuck me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty funny. They don't even know what they're banning.
I'm not talking about politics, but this whole fucking administration is a goddamn joke. I saw an interview today with RFK standing in front of not in front of Congress, but he was sitting in front of a committee. He was talking about measles vaccine, and they were asking him like, would you like have your kid if you had kids like would you give them measles vaccine? And he was like had to think about it. He was like talking about it and stuff like that. And it ended with, I mean, nobody should look to me for advice on like health stuff and everything like that. And I'm like, to the goddamn Secretary of Health, and this is we live in a joke. Mm-hmm. There was a second signal. There was like a third Signalgate thing with Pete Hegseth again.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be a For Your Distraction episode if Adam didn't get fired up over politics.
It's just we're living in the stupid age.
My mom said to me, so my mom is a religious listener to our podcast. Hi, Mom. Sorry about the language. But she said to me the other day, she's like, I'm worried about Adam.
I'm worried about me.
And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, he's just getting too into politics, and he's just getting too worked up, and it's just a bad thing. And she's 100% right. Like, it is a bad thing.
I'm not saying she's wrong. We've stumbled in a constitutional crisis. I think that if there's ever a time to be too into politics and be too involved, now might be the time. Not post when the Gestapo's, they're declaring martial law and the Gestapo's stopping everybody on the streets and knocking people out and black bagging them. I think if there was it's like saying in World War II, I understand it's a shit show right here, but you gotta get out. You gotta touch grass. You gotta get out there and you gotta smell the roses. It's a terrible thing going. You can't pay too much attention. Look, I know that he's sending people to gas chambers, but you gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, I'm done.
Well, you know what? Save this because we're gonna do a Patreon episode. And we could use the politics talk for the Patreon.
Okay, I don't have much, really.
I have some.
Okay, good.
I have some. So we haven't done a Patreon episode in about 4 weeks.
Life's been busy.
And the one we did before that, we then later posted for everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel the people who subscribe and pay us $1 a month for our Patreon, I feel like they're being screwed because they're not getting any new content, and the new content we did put out was just allowed for everybody.
I'm sorry I was shitting my brains out 2 weeks ago.
So let's give the people what they want. Adam, how
Absolutely.
can the people who don't subscribe to our Patreon, how can they join in?
Links to all our social. I guess I got to remove that fucking Twitter link now that I think about it, because that's still in the description of the show. But links to all our social medias and everything you can find us is in the links in the description of the show. For Distraction, or patreon.com/fordistraction, where you can find us on there. Facebook, Podbean is where we upload the audio. We got our YouTube, obviously. I do share the live stream to our Facebook channel, so you'll know whenever it's coming up, or on the whatever night we do it. You should get pinged for that.
Yeah, we don't know what night yet. It might be.
And then
we might test drive a few different nights.
And then I do some light cleaning up for the video portion, and then just convert that onto YouTube so you can watch that post, obviously. We're still a member of the Electronic Media Collective, so head over to electronicmediacollective.com and listen to us and a bunch of other really, really, really cool shows on there.
Yeah, so the little clip we played, you heard Chris Cat from Beepers After Dark interested in the podcast network.
Yeah.
Well, first she said, are they sponsored? Oh, we would sell out in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we've been trying to get sponsored for some time now. Appleton Jamaican Rum. Yeah, they can sponsor us if they want.
Yeah.
But we're looking for those sponsors. But we do have a podcast network, the Electronic Media Collective. So the Beepers After Dark guys, if you want to get in, like, we could set you up with. You guys could join our wonderful podcast network. They help us get out there. That's probably the 5th most popular podcast in the nation right now. And we're coming for Joe Rogan.
Just so we're official, For Distraction does not make any promises that any show can guaranteed get on the Electronic Media Collective. We are not, admin members of that.
I mean, we have a lot of...
Just a disclaimer.
We can't make any guarantees, true, but we have a lot of political pull and power. And I think if a show is willing to come out of retirement after a year, I mean, they're not going to add a show that hasn't done a new episode in a year.
Yeah.
That's a red flag. But if a show is interested, we got a guy.
For those of you that just listened to the audio version, also, I forgot to mention, pretty much find it anywhere: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play.
Oh yeah, all
that stuff.
anywhere you get your podcast.
You should be able to find it.
And we've got a good amount of people that still listen to us that way. I'm kind of surprised.
I mean, that's the. So, like, here's the thing. Video podcasts only do well if you show video content. That's why I tried to put together clips and shit like that. So,
You
at the
do
very
well, yeah.
least, if you're going to commit to watching the video, there's going to be some stuff on there that, the audio people can't understand what's going on. You got to check out the video. Yeah. So, I try to show a little something to them. But yeah, that's it. We're gonna do a Patreon real quick.
We're gonna do a Patreon. Yeah. So that's
I got nothing to take us out on. Hey, Beepers After Dark. Thanks for the shout out.